So earlier this month, Stephen Wilhite, the creator of the GIF or GIF, unfortunately did pass away due to complications related to COVID-19. It's something that he had contracted at the beginning of March, and around the 14th, I believe around the 14th, was hospitalized, passed away shortly after, confirmed by his wife. But I wanted to use this podcast episode to kind of talk about, his work, his legacy, and the nature of file formats and like how they've evolved, how they're utilized. So, yeah, this is John with the BB&J podcast, and let's get right into it. So, this file format or compression format of the GIF was developed in 1987 while Steve was working at CompuServe, which is a technology company. In an interview with the Daily Dot, he said, quote, "I think the first GIF was a picture of a plane. It was a long time ago." So, something that I think we use all the time, but for him it was, I don't think anyone could have possibly imagined the implications of this file. But especially early internet, where it became a social thing, and then moving into platforms such as MySpace, especially. But then later you see things like Imgur, you see Reddit, and then even a lot of like forums were using GIFs as a way to, share short form video online, right? Where you don't have to share the audio. It's a lot more compact, and it really allowed a certain like variety and expression and color and video and movement, really, in the internet in a way that you didn't effectively see beforehand, because while you had, MP4s, MPEGs, all that stuff, the compressibility, the size, and the easy way that you could put it on a variety of servers with a variety of internet connection speeds really innovated that world. He's definitely had a major impact on the world, and I think that will certainly be missed. But I wanted to use the rest of this podcast to kind of talk about file formats, because it's something that we do work a lot with. The way that the formatting is really dictates how it can be used, right? So to start off, GIF, it's a great thing to share. You still have the Jiffy keyboard, like it posts well, it goes in comments well. You can usually use it for that like short form audio free video. In terms of audio, speaking of, the WAV.M4A are usually good. With all of these things, there are a variety of different audio files, and there's certain programs that are going to specifically use certain file types. However, in terms of cross compatibility, the thing that'll work on the most platforms, those are the file types I'm going to be talking about and specifying. In terms of video, is something that we use a lot, obviously, with BB Digital Lab. You're watching a video right now. And I would definitely recommend .mp4. So a lot of times phones will make it MOV. However, it is pretty easy to convert MP4 to MOV to MP4. Most things can read MP4, and you won't have to worry about those weird conversion issues. So what I'll say is, if you're exporting and you have the option to make it an MP4, make an MP4 file. Speaking from a lot of experience with a lot of different platforms, MP4 is really your best bet. The last one I did want to talk about was for if you're doing images, JPEG. It could be JPG or JPEG. The reason that it was initially JPG was it was initially JPEG with the E, but I believe with Macintosh with Windows computers, it was all 3-letter acronyms, so they just did JPG. They got rid of the E. So JPEG is usually, it's not like the perfect file. PNG is usually a little bit higher quality, but I'm talking about in terms of compatibility across platforms, JPEG is usually your best bet. If you get something that's like a .heic, it's a .webp. Usually if you copy paste something directly from the web, it'll end up being one of those things. You can usually open it in like a basic image editing, super basic image editing app. You can do something like, like I use like Microsoft Paint even, and you could just save it, change the file type to .jpeg, .png, whatever. Like I said, HEIC WebP is common for how it's like to give it to the browser, how site builders will like display images, but unfortunately you can't use that a lot of times in the same way that you can easily use JPEG or PNG. So stick to those two. Open it. If you can save it, you can customize. You can usually customize the file type extension at the end, and that should work. But if you follow that list, if you put videos in those formats, you'll probably be in pretty good shape. On that note, I'd like to thank you so much for listening and or watching. This was definitely more of a serious episode than we normally do, but this is something that this man did a lot for the world of web, pretty much, and everything web related. I don't think it would make sense not to talk about it. But yeah, on that note, I will see you next week. Hopefully with something a little lighter. Bye.